Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another video. Don't mind all that. My room is a complete utter mess. I'm also filming this right at the end of the video because recently I've been starting books and ideas and stuff without actually starting the videos. So yeah, but hello, this is episode 2 of Divas Dictates.
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Mamma mia, now I really know. Say to me, say la vie. And I stop, never give me. Mama, don't breathe. I'm in love. Are you ready for it?
And is Elton John's episode. I chose him because like it's LGBTQ plus History Month. He's seen as quite like an iconic musical figure within the community and stuff. So yeah, I don't really know. But the first book that I'll be reading is going to be based on the song that the shuffle is here. And oh, what was it? I forgot already. Like Swing for the Fences by Elton John and Brandi Carlile. And the book that I am a little sneak peek. The book I'm going to be reading is Here the Whole Time by Victor Martins, translated from Portuguese by Larissa Helena. The reason for this is that it follows Philippe, who is like a bigger person in like a small town in Brazil, and a neighbour's like son, like the same age, Kiao, I think that's how you remember pronounce his name, is staying over for 15 days whilst his parents are like on holiday or something. And I thought it just fitted because it's about like him putting himself out there and sort of trying new things and sort of not always staying hidden and stuff. So yeah, that's the first book. And now I will go and see if I have any clips in the meantime before I come and review it. So yeah, see incredible. So yeah, I ended up really enjoying this. I think I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. Actually, I really enjoyed the characters, especially Philippe, and also like kind of being seen as well a lot, because like there isn't that many books with bigger main characters or characters, and especially when you add on sort of like a queer element as well, like I can relate a lot. And like the dedication, where is it gone? For anyone who has ever gotten into a pool with their shirt on, and yeah, things like that. I mean, I haven't gone swimming for a long time, but like it would just stress me out. Yeah, I think it's really good to fill certain spaces that aren't really being filled, and having a book with a bigger queer main character, and sort of the stresses and things that come along with that, and like the bullying as well that he faces, yeah, and just sort of trying to like hide and not really be yourself all the time around people for like fear of like what people say and or things like that. But yeah, I really enjoyed the story. Follows Philippe and the neighbour's kid Kiao, staying over 15 days, and sort of like, but when they were children they used to be like friends and like go to like the pool in the apartment building complex, but then like when he got to a bit older he was like, oh no, because like I don't like the way I look, and people are saying things and stuff. So it sort of like broke off, and they go to different schools. But sort of like they start like talking again and things like that, and go along. And it's just, yeah, it's cute. Like, it is cute. And sort of like this like small town in Brazil, and sort of like other people there. They go to sort of like this community centre and some sort of like the issues that are facing the town and like the people. Yeah, I really like the characters. Philippe's mum, Rita. Also another way it sort of swings for the fences in a sense is because like she sort of like dropped her job to like pursue art, so like taking a leap. Yeah, I really liked her. Becky, who is Kiao's like best friend, and also Melissa as well in the book. Yeah, it's just cute. I really liked her. I was exploring like the story with them, and like brings up a lot of sort of like things to discussion, and sort of like trying to strip like having fears and things, and sort of like going for things that like are scary but like it's worth taking a risk maybe. And yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I think also like there's sort of like a lot of sort of like pop culture references and stuff. Like Philippe like knows this shit. Which was yeah, I enjoyed them. Sometimes maybe a little bit much, and also a few times it's like it says something because A ... and B ... which happens maybe a few too many times, but like I mean it's just a way to. Also, I did quite like the way the book is written, like you, like sometimes like to the reader. Yeah, I think an epilogue would have been nice. I did like the ending, but I feel like just maybe a little bit more information, or like a bit further in time or something like that would have been quite nice to follow the characters a bit further on. But yeah, overall really enjoyed it. I like sort of like further in scene and stuff, and it was a nice book, which I recommend. So for my next shuffle we got Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me by Elton John. And the book that I chose to read for that prompt was Shuggy Bane by Douglas Stewart. I did start this in like early January and read like I don't know, maybe about 30 pages, and then I stopped, and I had my audiobook loan expiring soon when I started reading. It's like kind of weird talking like retroactively when you've already done it, but like I'm trying to fit it in place chronologically in the video. Anyway, and the reason I chose to end up finishing like I read like a tiny bit, it's like I basically read the book for that prompt, is because the book is about sort of I mean the song is about feeling like isolated, or like that downness sense from like people that you love, and feeling that your like the connection is sort of like drifting away, or like you're losing them kind of, and things like that. And because this is following Shuggy Bane and also his mum Agnes, and her struggles with addiction, alcoholism, and sort of money problems and like things like that, and sort of the other children sort of like leave as the time goes on, but he's always like staying there with her, and finally it's like, will he leave or something like that, because like to like, you know, live his own life and not carry on like things like that. What am I talking about? I have no clue. And also like his like queer coming of age in a sense, like he's like quite young. I can't remember like the ages, but like I think it goes from like well, yeah, I don't know. I'll say all that when I get to the review section, which will be like right after this. See you. Hey, so I got back into Shuggy Bane. Read 100 pages today, which is quite good. I'm going to be 136 into like the third section now. I'm enjoying it a lot. Very good like character study and like setting and like place and sort of like nuances of life and things. but it is sad. Like it's quite upsetting. It's a little bit slow, but I'm enjoying it. Not really for like the way like it's making me feel happy or anything, but yeah, it also makes me feel like, I don't know, just a bit sad for like the characters and just the way things go along, and like crap men. I just, oh god, men. But so I've read about 100 pages today. I think I kind of want to continue reading, but not specifically this. So I'm going to do another spin, well, shuffle, and see if I can try and fit something to another song that's maybe a little bit more light-hearted. Maybe even a manga. I would quite like to read a manga or something. I'll see. I will do the spin and put the song here, and then when I've started reading that, I'll maybe give you a bit of an update and things. But I don't know if I'm gonna like finish that before this one, or I might read them in tandem or whatever. But this is the priority still. Also, I think I only have like 5 days left on the loan, so I need to finish it before the loan expires, because I don't particularly want to just read with my eyes with this. I want to listen as well. But I just made myself a chamomile like some kind of passion flower blossom with spiced apple sort of sleepy tea. Don't do anything. But I think I'm immune to any effects of sleep work, because I just can't sleep. But yeah, anyways, gonna have this, see if I read something else a little bit more tonight, and I shall be updating you soon. Bye. Hey, so I haven't read any more of Shaggy Bane. I did choose the book for the other song, Sorry Seems to Be the Hardest Word, My Brother's Husband by Gengoro Tagame. It's translated from Anna Ishii, I believe, from Japanese. I can get to it. Yep. And I've just finished that last night. It took me like 2 days. But I will review it later, because I have a problem. I need to resort out my books and stuff a little bit. And I think I may listen to some of the Shaggy Bane audiobook whilst I'm doing that, because I need to get through it. And honestly, I'm kind of thinking, do I want to DNF it? Like, I don't want to DNF it, but like, do I feel like I need to? Because I'm enjoying it and it's like impacting me. I just don't know if it's the right time or if I'm in the right headspace to reading about like quite upsetting things and stuff. But I have a little think about it, because I do want to get it read. Like, I've had it for, like, it's one of the earliest books I ever bought, so yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna try and reorganize some of my books, because they're falling and stuff. Like, honestly, it is so bad. Also, I look hideous. Like, they all fell from near there. So there's been some changes. This is all French, and then other rest of Europe in country and colour. Japan, very big. Korea, and then other Asian countries, but not translated from Asian languages. Africa, North Africa, Israel, Palestine, Iran, Canada, but French, Central America, Mexico, Brazil, Southern America, Argentina, then translated short story collections. So now I've got some more space up there for more short stories, and there's some Irish fiction that needs to go over there. However, all the classics. Gold medal match, come on Great Britain. 8-0, let's go Birmingham. So it is at the end. I did, like I said, I finished both of them, but I'm going to talk to them in the way that like the the video should be going on, because this was the second song. Sugar Baby by Douglas Stewart. Very, very well written. Like I think I said in an earlier clip, that sort of like the characters and the setting is done very, very well, and they're very like complex and layered, and you sort of definitely get a sense of who these characters are, and sort of like the Glasgow setting of the different places that it's like set, and the like sadness as well. It's quite emotional, and like a lot of like bad and sad things happen. You're like, why? Like, no. Yeah, like the Agnes's alcoholism is like always on the page, and it's such a strong sort of feature of the book, and her struggles with addiction, and Shuggy trying to be there for her, and sort of the neglect that he's also facing because of her problems, and it's a very bleak and sad book, and and also like bullying that he faces because of like thoughts that like, oh, he is not right and he is gay, and that means he is lesser than, and like he should be bullied, and he's weird and different and stuff. And it's just like, oh, like he hasn't even figured it himself out yet. Like, no, don't do that. Like, oh, it reminds me a bit of In the Madonna of Bolton, one of my favorite books ever by Matt Cain, and sort of like the school, some of the school scenes and sort of the bullying and things, and like, and also Glitter Boy by Ian Eagleton, and how like when you're bullying like a kid that, you know, acts a bit different or acts a bit weird, or like he might be gay in the future or something like that, they're like, it's just like they're just trying to be a child. Like, bitch, bullying and homophobia are just so stupid and just evil people. Yeah, what am I saying? Yeah, so like the story just like follows them and the family. His older sister Catherine, an older brother, I think it's like Alexander, but they call him Leek. His dad is called Shug. Useless man. Oh, hated him. Honestly, like, men are just so irritating and annoying, and like, obviously not all men, but like, men, ew. But the other two children, their father is not Shug. Sort of like their lives and things, and sort of being in the family unit, but like knowing that like it's not fulfilling them, and they do so much but for little reward, and yeah, and also it's like the neighborhood, like the other people and characters and stuff in the story. Yeah, it's all done well. I feel like because a book, one of the earliest books I had on my TBR, like I bought it like in 2022, quite soon after I started reading, and I was like, I'm gonna read this because so many people loved it, and like it's gonna be amazing. 5-star jazz handbooks are just gonna like make me feel really emotional. I think maybe if I had read it beforehand, then I might have liked it a bit more. But I kept on kind of putting it off just because it's very long, very dense, sounds bleak, and it is quite bleak. But not sort of like gratuitous, I don't think. But I didn't wholly love it. Also think mentally I'm just not really the best. I think maybe a book like this wasn't the best option as well. But I think for star rating I'm going to give it a 3.5. The reason being is like it does feel a bit samey and a bit like repetitive, and sort of like the cycle of sort of Agnes's addiction, which is so true to like what addiction is, and sort of the impacts on her family, specifically Shuggy in the book. But it's just a bit like again and again, and yeah, a few like sexually things that is just, a little bit crass, and long, a bit too long really. I think it could have been snappier, more impactful, and stuff is a bit shorter. Also, like, again, an epilogue kind of would have been nice, but I feel like I did like the way it ended. But yeah, I think it just was a bit dragged on, and I didn't really totally love that aspect, but I would still recommend it. I think it's a very, very good book. I just didn't really love it, or it wasn't the right place or right time for me to read it. But one I would still also recommend, I do have Young Mungo by him. But yeah, also I think I might possibly unhaul this copy, and maybe in the future, if I do want to give it a reread, get a paperback, because it's quite big and heavy. But anyway, yeah, I read that. Finally I read it. So it's been on my it was on my 23, 24 and 25 books to read in that year list, I think it was. I'm not 100% sure. So I finally got around to it, and that was good, so yay. And then for the song, sorry seems to be the hardest word, I did pick My Brother's Husband Volume 1 by Gengoro Tagame, translated from Japanese by Anna Ishii, because I wanted to read a manga, and that was a song that came up, and I was trying to think, oh, what can fit that song, because I don't really know, but because this is following what's his name, Yachi, and his brother's husband Mike comes over to Japan from Canada, and Yachi's twin brother, and obviously Mike's husband Ryoji recently died, and the twins brothers were sort of like separated, sort of like, what's the word, like estranged, that's it, for quite a while, and then it says about how like it the thing here that like discusses sort of like different attitudes towards sort of queer people in Japan, and the difference between like the West and sort of like quite a closeted culture, and yeah, and sort of like the estrangement and things like that. So I thought maybe it was going to be like Yachi unpacking like maybe bad things or treatment towards his brother, and sort of how like he wanted to say sorry, but obviously like he can't say sorry because he's dead, and sort of like, I guess, regretting some of the time that they didn't spend together. So that's sort of the reason why I chose it for that prompt. Does it fully fit? No, but you can make some arguments. But yeah, I did really enjoy this one actually. I gave it 4.25 stars. Definitely want to pick up the second one. It's like up there, we can't really see, soon. But yeah, also Kana, who is Yachi's daughter, so sweet, and sort of like her attitudes and how she's like, oh, so like men can marry men in Canada and stuff, and Mike's like, yes, and she's like, why not here? And like asking these sort of like questions, and the bit also here like, and how the next generation can change the preconceptions around it and prejudice against it towards like, I guess, homosexuality or so like queer lives in Japan. And yeah, I really like the sort of art style. I have read Colours by him, which I didn't love. I think the ending spoiled it for me, but yeah, it's like nicely drawn. He's kind of hunky, yeah. Also, like, I feel like all the men in like, well, in Our Colours and also in this are all very sort of like hunky, which isn't the most common for sort of like manga books really, which I like, but maybe like it's maybe a little bit much. But yeah, so that's like Mike from Canada. He comes over. Can I find Kana? I don't know, but like some hugging and stuff there. And yeah, I think it's drawn well. It's quite a cute story. Oh yeah, and like Mike is over there, I don't really say the plot, to sort of like visit some of the places that Ryoji like told him about, and sort of about their childhood and stuff, and just sort of like Yachi and Kana like learning about Mike, and then also more about Ryoji through him, kind of a little bit. And yeah, and unpacking the sort of like preconceptions and prejudices sort of within some of Japanese culture still towards queer people. So yeah, I would say recommend it. Definitely gonna pick up this volume 2 soon. And that is a wrap on this video. I think I have probably more to say about all the books, but yeah. Anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Sorry, a little bit crazy. Oh, also, I was saying about the books the other day because I had to redo them. I still have like some that need to be clean, but I'm gonna flip you around, just show you a little bit more of what I do. Also, I do have an unhaul of some books. I don't have to put it in this video or do a separate one. I do a separate one, maybe not. I don't know. I'll see. But let me just quickly flip around and just show what I've kind of done with the books. So I showed you the translated shelves. Well, yeah. So yeah, Europe, sort of like Japan, Korea, and then it's like such a mess. Sorry. But then we've got like North Africa, Central to Southern America behind there. And then short story collections behind the big bag. And then I also redone the world fiction. So you're like Americas to Europe to Africa to Asia. However, I have no space for my Australian ones anymore. So what I'm kind of thinking of is that pile there of Irish ones need to go with them. And then I think I might move the short stories somewhere else, put the Australians and New Zealand fiction there, and then maybe bring that section of the Americas up to the corner if it fits, move it all along, and then I should maybe have space for the ones that aren't here. Also, the classics are just sort of there at the moment. So yeah, and then sort of historicals, I've still got quite a few classics that need to go back there. And then from the floor I'll put all the other books. These are all my short story graphic novels. I haven't done anything with YA. A few mangas there and a few mangas there, and that is sort of the situation. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next one to come. Have a nice morning, even like we are in the wild. I'll see you very soon. Bye.